Okay, I'm going to show you how I sized my snowman round to fit my project. So I'm going to bring in the free SVG, and then I know that my wood round, the size is 11.88. Okay, let's change this to a different color so you can see it a little better. Move this to the front. And then I'm going to get rid of that white part because I don't need it. That was just obviously the base of the snowman head. And then I'm going to make this bigger depending on how big you want your snowman face on your round. Now if you wanted to leave that background on, that white on, you can. This is totally up to you. I'm planning on painting mine, so I don't need that white. I'm going to paint it right onto my wood round. Okay, so that looks cute to me. I'm going to hide the gray part there. I don't need that. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn this into a standard. It's going to be a print and cut. Now actually, because this is telling me that it's too big, I'm going to ungroup this. And I'm going to ungroup it again. And I'm going to hide his nose and see if that makes a difference. Nope. Okay, bring him back out here. I'm going to make this a little smaller so it'll fit. Okay. Now this is a print and cut image, so let me see what I have together here. I'm going to put my cheeks and my face together. I'm going to flatten that. Okay. Let me see if I can flatten it with the nose on there. Nope. Okay. So that it's too big. It won't print together. So I'm going to unflatten this again, and I'm going to leave his nose separate. I'm actually just going to hide it. Okay, and then we're going to go to make it, and we're going to print this. Hit continue, send to printer, turn your bleed off, and then you're going to hit print. And this is what's going to print out. Now if you want to, you can go back and do the nose separate, totally up to you, or you can just wing it and do it freehand. But I wanted to show you how I sized mine. I'm going to paint this wood round here that I got from Amazon. And I'm going to paint it with a light buttermilk. I get some gloves on so I don't make a mess. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry and then we'll put our face on. Okay, it's dry enough. I'm not using vinyl for this project. What I'm gonna do is the SVG that I had, the free design, I went ahead and turned it into a print and cut, and I printed it out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay this on my round, and I'm gonna use a pencil to trace around the mouth and the eyes here. I'm not going to trace the cheeks because those I don't really have to worry about, but so that I know where the eyes and the mouth goes. So you just want to give a little bit of pressure so that you'll be able to see your indentations in the wood. Obviously it doesn't have to be perfect. The reason that the nose isn't on here, because I sized my image the way that I did when I had the nose with it, it said it was too large to do a print and cut, so it was going to do it separate. So if you want to, if you feel comfortable enough to paint it without doing it, you can, or you can print it separately and trace it on just like I just did with the eyes. Okay, so when you lift up your board, I don't know if you can see, it's very faint, you probably can't see it. The indentations for the eyes and the mouth are on the board. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to do my cheeks first. And all I'm going to do for the cheeks, this is Holiday Red. You can use whatever color you want. It's not going to be that red because I'm going to use a dry brush technique on it. So get yourself a paper towel. This is I don't even remember what they're called, a stenciling brush from back in the day. I'm not really sure. You can use whatever kind of brush you want, you know, obviously as long as it's an older one, because you're just going to be pounding on it or swirling. So this is going to be, I'm going to dip this in my paint. I'm going to come to my paper towel and I'm going to take off the paint in a circular motion or however you want to do it. Take off as much as you can because you can always add more. Okay, then go back to your board here and find your cheeks. Find the other one here. You can leave your paper up there for reference if you like. Okay, I'll probably go back and touch those up a little bit more later. And then we're going to take black paint. And I'm going to use the base of a foam brush. Not this one. I'm going to use this one. Okay, all I'm going to do is dip and dip. Adjust my light so I can see a little better here. Careful not to drip it on your board. They don't have to be perfect. Snowmen aren't perfect, of course. Okay, if you want to make them bigger, you can. You can just stick them back in there very carefully. I'm not really touching the board. I'm just kind of hovering over it just to kind of move the paint around. Okay, we're going to let that dry before we come put the nose on. Okay, paint's finally dry. It took quite a while because it was pretty thick. I did go ahead and print out a nose and I cut it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up where my dots are. May not be exact, but it's going to be close enough. And lay out where my nose would be. See how that looks. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to slide it right underneath. I made myself a little mark so I know where I want it. Okay, and I'm going to pull this up and see how it looks. I think I'm going to bring it up just a little bit towards his eyes more. even make it a little bit longer. Okay, and same as before. I didn't quite push down hard enough, so I'm gonna do it again. You could also scribble on the back of it if you wanted to. Let's see how that works. Obviously don't want to do the whole thing because then you're going to get it all over your board, but let's see how this works. And don't smear it around. There we go. Okay, for his nose, I'm using Camden Orange. You can use whatever color orange you have. This just happens to be what I have. Okay, and a little bit of water here. Actually going to sit down for this because I'm not very good at standing and painting. Okay, and just follow along your line that you made. Okay, comes the fun part now. We're going to put a bow on our snowman. I have all my supplies out. You're going to see my creative brain working today because I can't quite decide which bow I want to put on. If I want to do this one or this one, and then I've got different bells. My original plan was to do this one with the rusty bells, and I might still stick with that, but we'll see because I found these at the Dollar Tree last night, and they're just so cute. But rustic is more my style, and I will give you a heads up if you guys order these from Amazon. They're absolutely adorable, but you need to clean them because they're not rustic, they're rusty, which is fine for me, but that apparently in the comment section of the reviews bothered a lot of people. So let's see what we can do here. I am not a bow maker, so I am just going to kind of wing it here. My goal is to do a bow tie kind of bow, so I'm just going to make it really simple. Something like this, which I think I might make this tail just a little bit longer, just so I have something to work with in case I want to move it around. This is a wired ribbon, so it's going to be easier to manipulate it after I cut it. I think that looks good. Again, I'm going to cut them kind of long because I can always make it shorter. And another thing with these bells here, if you do get them, make sure you clean your hands before you touch your board because your board will get all dirty with rust. Okay, just going to pinch it together. Bring this one around, pinch this together. And I'm going to put a wire in there. You can use a wire or you can use pipe cleaner, whatever you have. Actually, I should have cut this first. These are just some tags that I had laying around that my dad gave me a long time ago. So I'm actually going to take the wire off of this. That's what I'm going to use for my center. Alright, pick that back up there. This one I think I need to turn that around because it looks like it's a little darker on the other side. So I'm just twisting it. It's not really a wrong way to do it. If it looks good to you, it's good. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little piece of fabric right in the middle to make it look like a bow tie. If I want to fold it over, if I want to just cut it down the middle. Let's try and cut it and see how that works. I can't cut a straight line to save my life. So, I'm grateful that these little lines are here. Yep, I'm still going to make it smaller. Okay, I'm going to trim that up and I'm going to actually use hot glue to get it to stick on. Mess with that a while. See if I can cut these little things so they look like the cool things they do on the bows. I always do it wrong. I cut it the wrong way, which I'm probably going to do it again. Nope, I actually got that one right. So I'm thinking if I put it like right there, glue all over my finger, thread sticking out everywhere. Are you guys messy crafters? I'm definitely a messy crafter. So if I put them there, see, do I want it more on the angle? Or do I want them more like a bow tie? Oh goodness, another hard decision. Bow tie to the side. 95% of the time I'm going to go to the side, so just to be different, I'm going to put it right in the front. Stick that through the hole there. Okay, so I took my wire and I just pushed it down, just basically to hide it. And then I'm going to glue it on, and I am going to go to the side just because that's where my brain's telling me to do. And I'm going to hot glue them on there. You know what? I think I might tie these on first because I'm afraid the glue won't hold it because it's so heavy. Don't want it real tight though. I want it to kind of hang a little so you can tell he's got a bow tie on. Let's glue that a little bit there. There he is. I think he turned out cute.